Hello, this is Eric from AD Racing Central. So I finally managed to complete the Wipeout HD campaign in Wipeout Mega Collection on Elite difficulty, where I've been struggling with the last tournament event for quite a while. I recorded the whole thing for us to review together, so let's get started right away. As you can see, I picked Assegai. I'd say that perhaps my favorite teams in the game might be Harimau or Assegai, but I think that I've performed a bit better with Assegai lately. And also the teams with a faster speed and the lower handling like Piranha and Icarus have been growing on me lately. But for the Phantom speed class that these races are taking place on, I feel that I need quite an agile ship to react to things that can happen. And here we are on Venita K. I got off to a bit of a good start. These tunnels can be a bit tricky, but here I got a quake and a barrel roll. Yeah, some wall grinding there. And in case you don't know, these tournament events, you can't restart a single race, you have to restart the whole tournament. But this is the first race, so that's the one where you can retry a couple of times until you reach first place, like I did here. So everything is good so far. We are moving on to the next race that will take place on Anulpha Pass. This is a relatively short track where you can really benefit from pitching up and down to perform barrel rolls at tricky spots. Something that I haven't completely mastered yet. There's also a skill cut coming up here, and this Mirage ship actually side shifted me down to the main path, so to speak. But a new try on the next lap. You can actually drop down earlier than I'm doing here to benefit from the speed pad there, but I find that hard to be consistent with, and if I were to go down into the abyss, I will lose a lot of speed. So I tend to go for the sort of main straight path here. Now you can see I'm quite low on health, so I'm struggling a bit here to find a weapon pad to absorb, and as you can see I'm getting a bit nervous now and twitchy in controlling my ship. But here I got some mines to absorb, and we are closing in on the skill cut again. And the funny thing happened on the last lap. Here I get a caller for a missile, so I immediately drop down to the main path because I know if I get hit by a missile up there, I will drop down and will lose a lot of momentum and probably my first place as well. But now we got 2 first places in a row, so we're off to a good start in the tournament, and now we're getting closer to the point where it's too time consuming to restart the whole thing. So hopefully things will go well here on Moa Therma. This is a track where you can make barrel rolls, but I find it actually hard to do, so I actually use my turbo here on the straight. These magnetic strips actually slow you down a bit, so you don't really benefit from turbos there, but I think it's the easiest place to be consistent with the turbos. There are other spots where you can use them, but there's also a bit of a risk of falling down and you lose a lot of progression. Onto the magnetic strips again. This EGX, I think, is my main competitor in this tournament, and they managed to beat me. But we're still good. On to Chenghou Project. This track is quite challenging. I still actually don't know the best way to get over these bumps, and this turn here that is tilted in the wrong direction is also a bit hard to master. Even though I played this track hundreds of times, I still find it quite hard actually. Here you can drop down to the side, but that, once again, there's a risk of falling off the track. So I tend to go for the main path over the bump. As you can see now, I'm quite low on health. My health is critical, and you don't want to get destroyed. That will mean that you are out of the race and you will be pushed to last place immediately, and you will lose a lot of points. So obviously I can't make barrel rolls here, and I'm just absorbing whatever I get here from this pickup. Onto the final stretch here, and a bit of a lackluster performance here got me to a 4th place, but I'm still in a relatively comfortable lead. So on to the next track, that is Metropia. This track is more of a flat track where once again you can do barrel rolls if you know what you're doing, but these bumps are a bit hard to get any height on, even on Phantom difficulty. Well, at least to me. And now on Phantom speed class, where your opponents tend to perform quite well without spots for making turbos combined with barrel rolls, it can be sometimes hard to keep up with with the leaders of the pack. But here we can see me on 4th place, and now this happens. That lost me a bit of time, to say the least. I managed to recover slightly here, coming up on the 5th lap. But now I'm getting a bit nervous. You can see I'm pinballing a bit all over the place here. Yeah, I found the race line there on the outer corner, and now we are closing in on the end of the race. And I did progress to 3rd place at least. And I still got a relatively comfortable lead. You don't really need to win all the races in these tournaments, because your opponents perform quite inconsistently. There's no one getting consistently 1st or 2nd places there, so there's room for making mistakes. And here on Sebenco Climb we have a bit of a critical spot here. Obviously you can make a barrel roll here just by riding over the track, but then you really need to hit this speed pad, the one I just missed. Then you can make a barrel roll on this section as well. I didn't do it there, but we'll see if I can do it next time. A missile hit there, and I managed to hit the speed pad in the midst of the explosion. And as you can see there, you earn quite a bit of time if you can nail that little section there. Unfortunately, there are a lot of places where you can do barrel rolls on this track, and if you do too many of them, you lose quite a bit of health, and you lose even more health by bumping into walls like I'm doing now, and even more by getting hit by weapons and bumping into your opponents, and eventually you die. That was not very good, because that got me in not last place, but 2nd to last. So I lost a bit of my lead there when we go on to Ubermall. But this is a track that I am a bit more comfortable with, I have to say. Here is a section here, you can obviously make a barrel roll here, and you actually get enough height to make another barrel roll there, but I missed it that time. And here you have another critical spot, where there's a slow right-hander and a very sharp left-hander. Got a few weapon hits in there, and now you can see what I talked about before, over the speed pad there, make another barrel roll here, and just pass the Mirage ship there. Let go of the accelerator just slightly, and got the turbo, which means you can make another barrel roll here. And I managed to keep my 1st position. So, it's nice to have a track that you are relatively comfortable with, that you can perform on. Closing in on the last race, that's Sol 2. This is a track I am not very comfortable with. I find it hard to make the side shifts you need to make any barrel rolls on this track. And there are a lot of tricky sections as well. And I just find it hard in general to keep up with my opponents, and getting hit by a bunch of mines doesn't help me either. As you can see, I'm in 7th place, and we are on the 3rd lap. And a feeling of deja vu when I got hit by another load of mines. On the 4th lap now, and in 6th place. So I'm getting a bit nervous now. I'm not entirely sure. I wasn't entirely sure that this would help me secure the win in the tournament. And I didn't want to do the whole thing again. I managed to overtake a few people here up to 5th place. So I got a bit of hope that it will actually turn out well. But then here on the last corner, I got a bit of a wall scrape and got overtaken and finished in 6th place. But, as you can see, I managed to get the gold medal. It took me a couple of tries, to be honest. I'm sure there are a lot of excellent Wipeout players out there who have played these games for hundreds and hundreds of hours who didn't think that this event is all that challenging. But I know there are a lot of people who struggle still. And as you can see, with all these races, you don't need to put on a flawless performance by any means. And if you're struggling with these tournament events that are a bit annoying, then don't worry. Just give it enough time and you'll come up on top eventually. If you want to see some other Wipeout content, then click on this video, and thank you so much for watching. I am Eric from AJ Racing Central, and I'll see you in the next video.